trying to get myself together.
I got it. Keegan, what are you doing today?
Right now I'm driving to go fix an active grill shutter on a Volkswagen. So that's what I'm about to go do.
You know, Diego here thinks that he's in the contention for being the #1 anti-Semite of the year. Do you think you're in the top 10? How do you feel about that?
No, I put my vote in on Miss Rachel. I think Miss Rachel is a horrible, horrible, disgusting human being. And I vote her every single day of the week. So it doesn't matter if I'm even close to top 10. #1, Miss Rachel. How dare she have a child who had their arm and leg blown off by Israel on her platform?
Yeah.
The nerve of the woman.
Miss Rachel's sick. What a sicko.
I was really disappointed in Elle with what she said about Miss Rachel. That was so sad.
What did Elle say? She said that woman deserves to die?
She basically said that she's using her platform for political reasons, putting a known Hamas supporter who's not a Hamas supporter, and also, attacked how she looked. And I thought that was pretty low.
The woman who weighed over 250 pounds and then lost 70 pounds or 80 pounds in 3 months is saying how someone else looks. I mean,
I didn't know Elle was overweight.
Listen, she was overweight, and then she said she lost all the weight in 3 or 6 months. Well, I don't know about you. I've watched someone who was overweight lose a lot of weight, and then what they looked like afterwards was this little floppy, they had bat wings, and you don't want them to ever take their shirt off because it's grosser than them being fat. You know, I don't know how much she should be speaking about.
Why would she openly tell that about herself? I'm confused.
Well, I don't think she was really what she was saying, but she was one time, she was talking about how her weight loss journey. She was I used to weigh a lot, and she was and that's why I think guys were. She's I was asking her about she's going through a hoe phase, and she's pretty much saying she's going through the hoe phase because she was fat, and she couldn't go through the hoe phase while being fat, which is also a lie. She probably hoe while being fat. But she wasn't banging guys she liked. But she said that she was 200-something pounds, and she lost 60 pounds in 3 months. And
if she was, I mean, I've never been overweight like that. But if she was really, really young, she could have lost the weight and it not affected her. If she was in her teens, she could have lost it.
No, she lost it. No. She lost in the last 2 years. She was fat.
That explains so much.
Exactly. I've asked her for her fat pictures, and she won't send them to me. I said I don't need to see the after pictures. I just want the before ones.
I mean, I'm very cautious of talking about how people look even before I got injured, but especially after I got injured, so I'm not going to say anything. Even though I said some mean stuff about Issa, what's wrong with me?
You did.
That fat Guatemalan.
You do know what you're doing.
I was erasing my messages, and I read it. I was erasing my tweets, and I read what I wrote.
John, are you on good terms with Lisa?
Yeah, I got no problem with anybody on this app. I mean, there are some people on here that
yesterday.
I talked to everybody. I just talked to Issa just 5 minutes ago, and I was explaining how I spent 2 hours trying to get Nora to create an apology video, and they just laughed it off, saying that you were incapable of doing it. And I beginning to think, I might be spinning my wheels over here. Ranks, welcome to the room, Ranks.
My biggest mistake that I made is I internalized a lot of the things that people say on Clubhouse to me, not about me. I just internalized everything. So my goal now is to not internalize things, just to let it go.
Let it go.
You need to externalize them.
That's the video York.
Music. Next time you see Issa, say unblock Rudolph.
Okay, I'll tell her.
Wow, we're both blocked by the same people.
Listen, she called me. She literally was like, "Here's the Nazi on the stage," and then I called her fat, and I was like, and then she blocked me. I was like, "Whoa, you can call me a Nazi, but I can't say you're fat."
Yeah.
What the heck?
Did you tell her you're just a mechanic?
What?
Did you tell her you were just a mechanic and that you're actually fat and projecting?
Exactly. I was like, I'm the fat one. Like, listen, like, who cares?
Yeah.
Let's all be fat together.
I think being fat is good. I don't think it's bad.
Well,
It's a sign of strength. It's a sign of strength.
I think it means that you have access to food. I mean,
Listen.
Rudolph.
It's a sign of strength that Issa is the strongest one out of all of us.
Rudolph, let me ask you a question.
Well, until it's fat.
Rudolph, let me ask you a question.
I don't think it's fat.
In terms of like
Okay, go ahead.
group psychology and priority for if you're Make America First, do you think that if you can speak native English as if you're a native born person, you should receive priority in terms of fiscal spending and priorities nationally? Because technically, I don't care what you look like. I only care what you sound like.
I mean, would you include Ebonics in this?
If you believe that ADOS, are or even FBA, foundational B, if you think that, because my grandparents only came here in 1900, but some of those people were here from the fucking beginning, from late 1700s. So do they have a greater birth rate than you? I would say the now is all important. And so if you want to do the history hypnosis lesson, you deny the fact that we all share the same present moment, and you're not entitled to anything that I'm not entitled to right now. So the reparations argument is anti-philosophical. Anyways, I'm just saying, to me, how you sound is important, but like, you can't necessarily discount an FBA because they speak ghetto.
Oh, he ran away.
It's just a theory. It's just a theory. Okay, Nora, I really hope you take my advice, but I can't spend any more time working on this with you. Surprise me and delight me, and you will see miracles happen in your life. You like miracles, right?
Dude, I don't think you understand how. You already know what I'm going to say, so I'm not going to say it.
Hello?
Can you not hear me?
No, you caught yourself. You were about to repeat yourself, so congratulations. That was a good move on your behalf.
Thanks.
Nice job.
My hair straightener's not working.
You're progressing.
It's not straightening my hair very nicely. I need to get a different one. But I don't have money because I'm not working.
Yep.
I spent all the money.
See, we're trying to solve your problems one iron curler at a time. One curl at a time. But, it won't, nothing will ever change fast enough for you unless you issue this apology video. Because it could become financially successful for you, because it'll lead to other videos. But you just have to be willing.
I have a podcast named Scarface.
Yeah. You're already, you are technically the female Arab Andrew Meyer. This is your "don't tase me, bro" moment. And Andrew Meyer has had 20,000 X followers until they deplatformed him.
You just really want to live vicariously through me.
No, I want to see if my experiment works for you. It's all experimental. But if you don't want to play the game, well, then you can just sit on the sidelines. It's your choice.
Like I said, I would have rather it split my neck.
Yeah, we've heard that one before. Let me hit the bell. I think I've heard that one probably 50 times now. Yeah, Andrew Meyer is still kicked off of X.
else either. They get banned.
He can. He's too stupid to figure out why.
Oof.
Do you know, have you ever heard the song Poppy Rosen? By the Cantor! Rosenblatt, the most famous Jewish singer of all time! Oh my God, you are so neurally linked to Diego here. He has programmed you so much that like the moment he leaves, you just like your brain is like, no, my neurosynaptic connection with Diego is gone.
Okay, what do you want me to do? Like, that's how I feel.
I making fun of it, but I want you to recognize it and be like, he's fucking right. Like my brain's fucked up. He got me fucked up.
No, he didn't do anything to F it up.
No, meaning that like you're not in control of your brain. Your brain is in control of you. Like there's this subconscious brain which you have like no control over. And like to not control it is like not smart. You know, I'm trying to get you to be more aware. This is like mindfulness training. Very mean, make fun of you mindfulness training. But it does have a purpose.
And that Diego, Kitover says I'm neurally linked to you.
Yeah. That's called entangled. Can you explain that?
Diego,
But I thought I detangled myself because entanglement is a negative thing. I just accept it for what it is. I don't have any expectations. I just feel the way I feel. So
I mean, you were like very close to me, and then you just left. Maybe you are disentangled, or maybe you're just a self-sabotager.
I do self-sabotage 100%. But I don't want you to see me and you feel like a crazy person with a disfigurement in her face. That's sad.
see, this is where like the cutesy bootsy girl who cried wolf comes out, and you guys are actually totally disentangled. But do you guys have anybody else to even talk to at this point?
Diego has lots of people to talk to. I do too. I just don't want to talk to them.
See, Princessia, you're like playing this cool role, like you're a cool person, but we know truth and we know, fiction. And so I'm just saying, like, you sound.
Person in general.
Well, we want you to be a player. Girls are players too, but you're not taking our advice. You're resisting our advice, and your game is up. Like, your game isn't going to be able to get played much longer. Like, Diego probably won't play this game with you much longer. I'm not going to play the game with you longer. Maybe I'll come back, and 6 months from now, you guys will still be doing it. But I doubt it. I fucking doubt it. Because this is like a house that has already collapsed and fallen into a fucking sinkhole over here.
It hasn't even started.
I feel like the guy from the Green Mile.
I mean,
I watched the Green Mile. I don't remember it though.
Princessia, you went to New York to meet Diego. Instead, you ended up going fucking globally viral, screaming out infatadas. So I'm just telling you, your house has already sunk. I'm trying to help you get the fuck out of the hole that you and Diego have created for you, because this has impacted your life significantly. And Diego, if you would agree with me, the fact that she is now known online, her name comes up with that fucking video. Diego, you tell me, is this girl employable?
Diego, my love, Diego. Where art thou? Thou art on mute. John, I am trying to get myself together so I can constantly and try to make a video. So I'm trying.
Okay, remember what Yoda said to young Skywalker? He said, "No trying, only do."
You know who told me that?
Diego.
My analytical chemistry professor.
Oh, wow.
I was in his office hours, and he says there's no try, there's only do. Dr. O'Reilly.
Because I'm not there to be a babysitter. I get shit for being in here. I don't correct anybody in here if they go on racist rants. It's not that
I'm so hungry. Diego, what'd you end up eating? wonderful time. Diego. Oh. Really don't want to put on lipstick. So I'm trying to just put Vaseline. I mean,
Cole, he's my miracle child. So how does your miracle child get cancer?
Give the same kid all your money right now.
This is not getting your stuff. I thought you said you can't play games like this. It's not going to be a copyright infringement.
I think you should shoot the apology video as
I'm
naturally
doing my
as
hair, bro.
possible.
I'm straightening my hair.
I hear you, but I don't want to, like, you know. I've already given you enough free consultations. You know, I get paid.
I think I should have my hair go like a golden brown. Like, I think that would be a pretty color, a golden brown.
Mm-hmm.
Anything to take attention away from my face.
Go ahead, Vega. Play the rest of the answers on GPT by pressing the speaker button.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Because GPT's a better reader. It's a better cadence.
I'm working on it, Diego. One day I will please you. Okay, let's see. Do you want it to be where I left off, or
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Okay, just opened it. I'm trying to open it. Why wouldn't it open? Text. ChatGPT.
Good.
I don't know why I click on it and it doesn't open. From my laptop? Oh, there it is. It just opened. Okay. This person is listening to this analysis. So what you're saying, if she didn't like what she'd like to be swiftly convicted. I'm trying to find. Okay, there we go. And how do I get it to play, Diego?
You press the speaker button at the end of the response.
That's for me to speak. How do I get it to just say it? Speech. Start speaking.
Begin.
No. Jesus Christ. At the end of every response, there's a thumbs up, there's a thumbs down, and there's a speaker button.
Not when I open it.
So we're trying
In ChatGPT, I don't have that option.
Iron curler at a time. Curl at a time. But, you know, it won't. Nothing will ever change fast enough for you unless you issue this apology video, because it could become financially successful for you, because it'll lead to other
Legacy models.
But you just have to be willing.
I'm so sorry, Diego. I do not have that option when I open it from your link. I only have like the message chat GPT, the mic, and this other one, but not like the thumbs up option for me. And I do have it open in the chat GPT 5.2. Can I try to read it and try to do a better cadence?
No.
I want to see if my experiment works.
Let me just highlight it and then have it speak.
No, please.
But if you don't want to play
Okay.
the game, well, then you can just sit on the sidelines. It's your choice.
Do you want me to screenshot it to you so you can see that I don't have it?
Yeah.
Hit Command 3. Command 3.
Have you ever heard the This is called Mabdo, a very famous song from the 1920s by the Kanta. Rosenberg, the most famous Jewish singer of all time.
Yeah, what you just sent to me as
So let me send this too big and I'm not like my thing. Maybe if I do it on my phone instead of my laptop.
no. You're looking for that. I just opened what you sent me.
This or that.
A long time ago, there was a lot of people. Well, that was a long time ago.
Hello?
How do I get this conversation to play?
All right. Well, listen, I'm gonna have to get back to work here. So,
You see that? You wasted time. Now he's leaving.
Diego, Nora, it's been fun. I'm willing to do a little work with you. I have to read from a book. I know both of you probably are unfamiliar with what the fuck a book is because you fucking retards have spent years never looking at them. But I'm gonna do a little work here right now because I gotta do what I gotta do. And you guys are fucking strokers who waste all your time talking about nothing. It's pathetic.
Let me try to do this, John. Don't leave, so you can hear it.
Oh no, I'm just gonna talk right over you. All right, in the United States District Court, Southern District of Florida, United States of America versus John Doe criminal complaint. I, John Kitover, being duly sworn, depose and say, I am a former U.S. Army intelligence officer with knowledge of the investigation. Based on released Epstein files dated December 2025, evidence shows defendant engaged in sex trafficking under 18 U.S.C. 1591. Violation 18 U.S.C. 1591, sworn to before me this day, 15th of December, 2025. Approved by Pam Bondi and Kash Patel. Hello?
John, can you tell me why I don't see the thing that Diego's telling me to see on the chat GPT?
I'm sorry, I don't use ChatGPT. I use Grok, the superior AI engine.
I know you're frustrated with me right now, Diego, but I promise I don't see that option on my chat GPT.
Can you screenshot to confirm that promise? Hello?
Yeah.
Anyways, Diego, what's it been like working for Nora all these years?
Obnoxious.
Fucking obnoxious, huh?
He knows all I want is for us to play and keep like the show from having dead air, but she's like committed to having dead air.
Yeah. Nora, yeah. Are you listening, Nora? Take note.
It's like she doesn't do anything to you know, and the hours and hours that she's just lying there, he doesn't stop and go, hey, let me try to anticipate kind of requests that he's gonna do based on regular patterns of the way we act every day.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll just know how to do this so that when he says, hey, go ahead and do this, he doesn't have to stop.
Okay, wait, Diego, hold on. Diego, let me just quickly end this debate for you and tell you what you should be. No, this is a debate. I'm gonna tell you, Diego, what you should be telling your dog, Nora. Are you listening? You just have her read from scripts. What is the point of engaging with a brain that is failing? Just make the brain read a script. Otherwise, it's going to be the same fucking tomato soup every single time. I've already confirmed it, Nora. You're incapable of following instructions, and you don't participate. You're impossible to work with. If you were on a casting call right now or on a stage, I would have you removed from the building because you can't follow instructions. But you're not. You're on a stage. You're on.
Not very nice.
Oh, well, I meant to say Diego is the dog and you are his master.
No, he's not. He's not a dog, and I'm definitely not his master.
Well, then you're his dog and you're his master, and I was right. Again, Nora, you're impossible to work with, and we've confirmed it at least 1,000 fucking times, and there's no more debate about it. You're incapable of actually doing anything.
I'm sorry.
Well, you don't have to apologize to me. Nora, don't you get it? I've spent days consulting with you for free. You've never fucking taken one note. You're never going to make it. I'm trying to help you. You've got to start fucking taking notes on what to do.
She will, but she'll start around 55.
It'll be too late by then. You'll never have lived life. We're trying to make you a player. Because girls are players too.
You all just referred to me more and more that it should have been my neck instead of my face, but whatever.
I gotta hit the bell again. Okay, I think that was the time you made a suicidal ideation, just to put it down in the notes. I gotta send it to the psychiatrist. Please hold.
I called the suicide hotline the other day. I mean, I can't help it. I do have suicidal ideation sometimes.
But what I don't get is that is it better to ruminate over suicide than to just like take a note like the man is asking you to? Why is that the preferable thing? I don't get it.
It's like, Diego, do you know what trichinosis is?
Trichinosis?
Yeah, look it
It
up.
has something to do with hair.
Yeah, you pull your hair out. It's the same thing. She's basically has OCD. This is her way of exhibiting OCD because it produces the dopamine when she says the statement. The response, the people who respond to her girl who cried wolf statement is what gives her the dopamine feedback.
I say it after the fact. Like, I would never say it in the moment when I'm feeling suicidal that I'm feeling suicidal. Like, I get the help that I need, and then I say it after the fact. What do you got? So are you sure that's okay for this to play and I'm just retarded and don't know how to do it? On ChatGPT where you say there's like a thumbs up and stuff like that?
You've got the power of AI at your fingertips.
Because my ChatGPT does have that, but the link that you sent to me, like whenever I open my links, like I can do.
So why don't you just copy and paste the language and tell the ChatGPT to read it to you?
Okay, I will.
But I didn't want to have to say that because that's so obvious that it hurts my brain.
I'm sorry. I'm okay. Can you already acknowledge that? Like I am stupid. Like you already acknowledged that.
No, you're not. You're lazy. There's a difference.
Depression.
Laziness. Depression can because of laziness.
This is Nora, this is the conclusion that I have come. Unless you're creating videos, you are really doing nothing. And this is really why I keep encouraging you to create a video. And I told this to Zach De La Ruta.
I would if my face wasn't like this, but this is how my face is. I'm not going to do it.
You got to understand, your brain is going to rot if you don't start doing taking our suggestions. Diego, would you agree that based on the way that things are trending in terms of your house and the communication that's taking place here, I mean, how do you as a strategist evaluate this situation here?
All I know is once upon a time, Diego.
It's not like a golden.
You're so mean. But it's okay. I put.
No, we're not being mean, Nora.
For
We're
reason I'm attached.
Nora. I'm not going to be mean to you. The only proof is in the pudding, and the only proof is videos. Until you can show me a video you've created,
I had another video in August that I posted on Twitter.
All right, well, I've spent 2 days now trying to get you to create a video, and my consultation at the end of this bell is now officially complete. The Hanged Man, keywords, congealed, end of a situation, a relationship which is stuck, letting go, giving up, surrendering, learning to see in a new way, the necessity
like the good secretaries
of
are the ones that like
old behavior
you're like, oh my god.
The Hanged Man is nailed
24th,
upside down, a position in which the personal
Like
will
liar, liar.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
situation is at a stalemate. There is no more room to move. Escape of any kind has become impossible.
The guy,
The serpents of transformation and wisdom lay coiled and sleeping.
she doesn't
The
want to
Hanged Man is
trifle
nailed to the
with
wood of his petrified attitudes and viewpoints. His eyes are closed.
It's
He
supposed
is
to be like
blind
an
to
AI.
all which does not fit into
But
the closed system of his concepts.
You're not.
Every new idea, every
You're
new
not doing
impulse
that.
is ignored or resisted.
And then I'm like,
His head is shaved.
come
The
on,
hair,
like,
symbol of spiritual
you need to be
perception,
prepared.
In this
Play
deck, the
a video
priestess
on
is one
demand,
of the
so that would be-
strongest cards for balance,
There should be
equilibrium,
commercials.
and harmony. The upper half of your
course.
body expresses the feminine
You should be
receptive.
prepared,
This is accented by the upward swinging lines and the upward
I'm sure
pointing
you can
crescent
skip a couple more
moons
issues,
behind her
follow.
head. The crown is the moon which receives light from the sun. From the navel down, her body expresses the male principle. The lines are straight, dynamic, direct in purpose. The bow and arrow in her lap accentuate
Like, if
this
I give you
concept.
text, at
The
this point,
priestess
I
can
mean,
indicate
I used to want you
extrasensory
to read it,
perception
but now
and
it's-
intuitive abilities such as clairvoyance, telepathy, creative visualization, empathy, intuitive knowledge, and healing powers. These abilities arise in harmony with and in service to the ultimate cosmic laws. You now have access to your intuitive powers. Develop them more fully. Guard your independence. Flowers and fruits at the bottom of the card. In the innermost reaches of your being, the more you accept yourself and share with others, the deeper the clarity of your perceptions will become, represented by the crystals. In this deck, the priestess is one of the strongest cards for balance, equilibrium, and harmony. The upper half of her body expresses the feminine receptive. This is accented by the upward swinging lines and the upward pointing crescent moons behind her head. The crown is the moon which receives light from the sun. From the navel down, her body expresses the male principle. The lines are straight, dynamic, direct in purpose. The bow and arrow in her lap accentuate this concept. The priestess can indicate extrasensory perception and intuitive abilities. You find fertile.
Please don't scroll. I'm just trying to become a big content creator one day, but I have no supporters. So if you have the chance, please subscribe.
And thy technique is the magic of water, so that thine act is of nourishment and not of generation. Therefore, the prime use of this art is to build up thine own nature. But if thou hast skill to control the mood of the eagle, then mayst thou work many an admirable effect upon thine environment. Thou knowest how great is the fame of witch women, old and without man, to cause events, although they create nothing. It is this straightness of the channel which giveth force to the stream. Beware, O my son, lest thou cling overmuch to this mode of magic, for it is lesser than that other, and if thou neglect that other, then is thy danger fearful and imminent, for it is the edge of the abyss of Coronson, where are the lonely towers of the Black Brothers. Also the formulation of the object in the eagle is by a species of intoxication, so that his nature is a dream or delirium, and thus there may be illusion. For this cause a demon not wholly unwise, if thou use this way of magic chiefly as a cordial, that is for the fortifying of thine own nature, and chemical agents according to the four elements. De medicinis secundum quatuor elementa. Concerning the use of chemical agents, and be mindful that thou abuse them not, learn that the sacrament itself relateth to spirit, and the four elements balance thereunder in its perfection. See also thy lion, himself hath a fourfold menstruum for his serpents, now to fire belong cocaine, which fortifieth the will, loosening him from bodily fatigue, morphine, which purifieth the mind, making the thought safe and slow and single, heroin, which partaketh as it seemeth of the nature of these twain aforesaid, albeit in degree less notable than either of them, and alcohol, which is food, that is fuel for the whole man. To water attribute hashish and mescal, for they make images, and they open the hidden springs of pleasure and of beauty. Morphine, for its ease, hath also a part in water, ere ruleth ethyl oxide, for it is a sword, dividing asunder every part of thee, making easy the way of analysis, so that thou comest to learn thyself of what elements thou art compact. Lastly, of the nature of earth are the direct hypnotics, which operate by repose, and restore thy strength by laying thee as a child in the arms of the great mother, I say rather of her material and physiological vice regent. That's on chemical agents according to the four elements. This is on the virtue of experience in this art. De virtute experientiae in hoc arte. Not sleep, not rest, not peace, not contentment are the will of the hero, but these things he hateth, and consenteth to enjoy them only with shame of his weak nature. But he will analyze himself without pity, and he will do all things soever that may free and fortify his mind and will. Know that the technique of the right use of these magic poisons is subtle, and since the nature of every man differeth from that of his fellow, there entereth idiosyncrasy, and thine experience shall be thy master in this art. Heed also this word, following the right use of these agents is to gain a knowledge preliminary of thine own powers and of high state, so that thou goest not altogether blindly and without aim in thy quest, ignorant of the keys to thine own inner being. Also thou must work always for a definite end, never for pleasure or for relaxation, except thou wilt as a good knight is sworn to do, and thou being hero and magician art in peril of abusing the fiery agents only, not those of earth, air, or water, because these do really work with thee in purity, making thee holy what thou wouldst be, an engine indefatigable, a mind clear, calm, and concentrated, and a heart fierce aglow. And the truth is consecrated by pure light of ecstasy. Also, as this is the strongest, so also it is the most sensitive of all things soever, and both proper and ready to take impressive will, not as a seal passively, but with true recreation in a microcosm thereof. And this is a God alive and puissant to create, and he is a word of magic, wherein thou mayst read thyself with all thine history and all thy possibility. Also as to thine eagle, is not this chosen by nature herself by her way of attraction, without which harmony, aesthetic, and magnetic thy lion is silent and inert, even as Achilles before his rage in his tent. Now also, therefore, I charge thee, O my son, to partake constantly of the sacrament, for it is proper to all virtue, and as thou dost learn to use it in perfection, thou wilt surpass all other modes of magic. Yea, in good sooth, no herb or potion is like unto this, supreme in every case, for it is the true stone of the philosophers, and the elixir and medicine of all things, the universal tincture or menstruum of thine own will. And directing disciples, de discipulis regendis. I will have thee to know moreover, my dear son, the right art of conduct with them whom I shall give thee for initiation, and the rule thereof is one rule. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. See thou constantly to it that this be not broken, especially in the section thereof. I dare say so, which readeth mind thine own business. This is of application equally to all, and the most dangerous man or woman as hath occurred, or I err, is the busybody. Oh, how ashamed are we, and moved that thou shouldst be beforehand with these children, showing them the right importance of love, how it should be a sacred right, exalted above personality, and a fire to enlighten and serve man, not to devour him. And certain diseases of disciples. De quibus dam morbis discipulorum. And thus, if any babe of thine be ill at ease, look closely first whether this love be not the root of his distemper. Watch also idleness, For whoso presseth eagerly forward in will heedeth little the affairs of his fellows. O my son, if every man doth his own will, there is no more to say. But the busybody nor mindeth his own business, nor leaveth others to mind theirs. Be thou instant therefore with such an one to cure him by enlightening his will, spending and speeding him therein. Remember also that if one speak ill of another, the fault is first of all in himself. For we know not but that which is within us. Did not the great witch-finder end by confessing that he also was a sorcerer? We become that which obsesseth us, either through extreme hate or extreme love. Knowest thou not how the one is a symbol of the other? For this reason, since love is the formula of life, we are under bond to assimilate in the end that which we fear or hate. So then we shall be wise to mold all things within ourselves in quietness and modulation. But above all, must we use all to our own end, adapting with adroitness even our weakness to the work, and watching for false Savior, and rend him until those who follow him in secret, and it may be unconsciously, prove their virtue and his wisdom by their survival when his persecutors perish in their folly. But we, being secured against all primary enemies to the individual or the commonweal, nay, we must, if we would attain the summit of our race, devote all spare leisure, wealth, and energy to the creation of variation from the norm, and thus by clear knowledge, bought of experiment and of experience, move with eyes well open upon our true path. So therefore our law of Thelema is justified also of biology and social science. It is the true way of nature, the right strategy in the war of man with his environment. It is the life of his soul. Okay, this one's for you, goddess. It's called On Monsters de Monstri.
Okay, I want to tell you really quick something.
Okay, go ahead.
You called me your Shekinah. I was in Israel once, and when I was there, I told them that was my name. You're really freaking out. That's all. Why are you so quiet? What happened?
So the whole point of this meditation is to help you create a positive vibration, which is equilibrium and balance and stillness and silence.
Perfect.
So take the deepest breath of the day. Hold it for 10 seconds. 10, 11, 10, 9. Okay, this is De Monstri on Monsters. Sayest thou, O my son, that not thus, but by false training one cometh to perfection, is indeed a sooth, that by artificial selection, in well-watched growth and environment, one hath dogs, horses, pigeons, and the like, which excel their forebears in strength and beauty and speed as one will. Yet is this work but a false magical artifice, temporary and illusion. For the masterpieces are but monsters, not true variations. And if thou leave them, they revert swiftly to their own proper and authentic type, because their type was made fit by experience to its environment. So therefore, every variation must be left free to perpetuate itself or to perish, not cherished for its beauty or guarded for its appeal to thine ideal, not cut off in thy fear thereof. For the proof of its virtue lieth in the manifestation of its power to survive, amen, to reproduce itself after its kind. Nurse not the weakness of any man, nor swallow and corset him, nay, not though he were poet or artist, because of his value to thy fancy. For if thou do this, he shall increase in his infirmity, so that even his work for which thou lovest him shall be enfeebled also. Okay, this next one is called.
God does not want you to freaking believe in them. You know, like,
Well,
God doesn't care if you don't believe.
Well, see, the thing is, the founding fathers were Freemasons, and Freemasons essentially believe in love. So, I mean, it's all, the whole world operates off of love, but I think we just...
No, desire.
Well, love is a red heart, desire is a red color, but the point is, wisdom is supposedly love. So love of law is the domination of the wise. That's wisdom. I'm just saying that I don't disagree with anything you said, except the fact that maybe you don't like the fact that I could point to the Constitution as being an all or nothing document. It is an all or nothing document.
The Constitution is really good, but I heard that there was a punctuation error in regard to the statement about the pursuit of happiness.
Well,
it's really interesting.
If you read it, very slowly, and you just actually pick apart individual words and focus on those individual words, that is essentially, the more advanced level, because what you're doing is expanding the document. It would be pretty interesting to put it through an expansion tool on ChatGPT to essentially create more content off of it to help people get an expansion or more relative, positions to it, because so much of that document is transcendental. So it deals with, divine illumination, poetic words of joy. It's a document for success. So I don't know, to say that it's not something to contemplate. I mean, I just, if you have one...
Contemplate. I think everything is worth contemplation.
Well, it's just the ageless wisdom. So the Freemasons are just obsessed with ageless wisdom philosophy, which in many ways is anti-Pope and anti-Anglican Church. It's its own thing. So it is like a gang. Every gang has their charter or their scope of work. So if you look at who founded this country, it was Freemasons. And, I have many books on it, and I'm not a member of Freemasonry. I'm just saying that when I read that, I see how it's a very advanced philosophy that creates a strong differentiation from other philosophies like the Catholic Church or the British King and the Anglican Church. I mean, Protestantism is really, I would say, pretty tightly wrapped into Freemasonry. That's my opinion. I'm trying to categorize and organize how I view history and current groups, and maybe what documents that they subscribe to or claim that they subscribe to. Because I think a lot of people just don't read anything anymore. So whatever organizations have, it doesn't even mean anything to them. It's,
It's a horrible thought to think that people do not read anything anymore.
I know this girl that I went to Israel with. I was like, when was the last time you read a book? She's like, probably 2005. And she's 47, 45. I'm like, you haven't read a book in 20 years? She's like, nope. I was like, oh my gosh. To me, it's like sacred chanting. I'm trying to focus.
People are still writing books. They're still writing them.
When I chant sacred texts, I'm trying to essentially dehypnotize myself from listening to all the bullshit on this app and other platforms, going way back and using these texts to MK Ultra myself. I use beer and orange juice, coffee, red wine, and cannabis, and yoga, and the gym. But I have definitely been capturing and recording myself reading these books for quite a while now. And there's just a lot of words. This book, Wisdom or Folly, is very interesting because it capitalizes a lot of proper nouns that we do not normally capitalize, like the word that. That is capitalized. Like, there's just so many capitalized words where you're just like,
I don't even know why I come on this app anymore. I erased it from my phone a while ago. I put it back on a few days ago. But I'm making more YouTube videos because personally, I think that what I have to say
and is the darkness, yet this comfort is a lamp therein, that there is no error in the will, but only doubt as to the means of success. Else were we as children afeard of night, thus we have need of naught but to consider the matter by wit of reason, and of prudence, and of common sense, and of experience, and of science, adjusting ourselves so far as we may. Here is the key of success, and its name is the skill to make right use of circumstance. This then is the virtue of the mind, to be the wazzer of the will, the true counselor through intelligence of the universe. But, O my son, do thou lay this word beneath thine heart, that the mind hath no will, no right thereto, so that usurpation bringeth forth a fatal conflict in thyself. For the mind is sensitive, unstable as air, and may be let foolishly unleash by a stronger mind that worketh as the cunning tool of a will. Therefore thy safety and defense is to hold thy mind to his right function, a faithful minister to thine own true will, that is king of that star whose name is thyself. By election of nature, heed well this, O my son, for thy mind passive is rightly a mirror to reflect all things clearly without prejudice, and to remain unstained by them. On the way of wisdom, de cursus sapientis. Therefore consider this again in a figure, that thy mind is as the marshal of an army, to observe the dispositions of the enemy, and to order his own forces rightly, according to that information. But he hath no will, only obedience to the word of his king, to outwit and to overcome the opposite. Nor doth that king make war by his own whim, if he be wise and true, but solely because of the necessity of his country and its nature, whereof he is but executive officer and interpreter. Its voice as the marshal is its arm. Thus then do thou understand thyself, not giving place to thy mind to dispute thy will, nor through ignorance and carelessness allowing the enemy to deceive thee, nor by fear, by imprudence and foolhardiness, by hesitation and vacillation, by disorder and the lack of firm correctness, by failure in elasticity or in obstinacy, each at its moment, suffering defeat in the hour of shock. So then, O my son, this is thy work, to know the word of the will without error, and to make perfect every faculty of thy mind in right order and readiness to impose that word as law upon the universe, so mote it be. Unreason, source of madness, when not under will. De ratione quae sine voluntate est fons maniae. Is it not a marvel how he that worketh with his will and is in constant touch with the reality external maketh his mind to serve him? How eagerly runneth it and returneth, gathering, arranging, clarifying, classifying, organizing, comparing, setting in array, with skill and might and energy that faileth never. Nay, my son, in this way thou canst be pitiless with thy mind, and it will not rebel against thee, or neglect thine ordinance, but now consider him that worketh not with his will, how his mind is idle, not reaching out after reality, but debating within itself of its own affairs like a democracy introspective. Then this mind, not reflecting, not reacting equably and with elasticity to the world, is lost in its own anarchy and civil war, so that although it work not, it is overcome by weakness of division and becometh Karanzon. And unto these words I call to my witness the madness of the soul of Muscovy in this year X333, 13 of our eon that is ended. Therefore behold how this our law of Thelema do. What thou wilt is the first foundation of health, whether in the body or the mind, either of a simple or a complex organism. And truth which may not be told to a woman, de veritate quam feminae non dicere is will to love. Therefore was it said by thine uncle Wolfgang van Goethe, das ewig weiblich sieht uns hinan. But therefore also hath she no nature of truth, because she is but the eidolon of an excitement, and of a going of thy star. It appertaineth not unto its essence and stability. So then to thee she is but matter, and to her thou art but energy, and neither is competent to the formula of the other. Therefore also as thy will is itself imperfection, as I have showed thee aforetime, thou art not in the way of love, except thou be dressed in that robe of thine which thou callest woman. And thou canst not lure her to this action proper to her by thy truth. But thou shalt, as our grammar saith, assume the mask of the spirit, that thou mayst evoke it by sympathy. But thou shalt appear in thy glory only when she is in thy power, and bewildered utterly by ecstasy. This is a mystery, O son. And of old time it was declared in the fable of Scylla and Charybdis, which are the formula of the rock and the whirlpool. Now then meditate thou strictly upon this most worthy and most adorable arcanum to thy profit and enlightenment. On the two rewards of the path, de duobus premis viae. Let it be a treasure in thine heart, O my son, this mystery that I shall next unveil before thine eyes, O eagle, that thou art undazzled by the brilliance of light that soars.
What up, David?
Using cocaine, man.
What'd you say?
Using cocaine, man.
Hello?
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 Continually with virile flight to thine august inheritance. Behold, the beatific vision is of two orders, and in the formula of the rosy cross it is of the heart and is called beauty, but in the formula of the silver star it is of the eye within the triangle, it is of the mind, and it is called wonder. Otherwise spoken, the former is of art, a sensuous and creative perception, but the latter of science, an intellectual and intelligible insight, or again in our holy Kabbalah. The one is of Tiferet, the other of Binah, and in pure philosophy. This is a contemplation of the cosmos, causal and dynamic, and later of its effect in static presentation. Now this rapture of art is a virtue or triumph of love in its most universal comprehension, but the ecstasy of science is a continual orgasm of light, that is of the mind. Thou sayest, O my Father, how I may attain to this fullness and perfection. Art thou here, O my Son? It is well, and blessed be the bed wherein thou wast begotten, and the womb of thy sweet mother. Fine. Holy and adulterous, the scarlet woman, amen.
And as a matter of fact, that's also true of sculpture, but we consider the background in sculpture irrelevant because it is not something which the artist himself has created. It's the temple or museum or place in which it is shown. But when you paint, and especially when you paint on a rectangular surface, instead of a surface that is shaped along with the figure, so that the outline of the figure is also the frame, when you paint, you have to put in some kind of a background. Now, if you've seen Greek or Russian icons, the background is solid gold, often emblazoned with jewels. But as time went on, painters began to put landscape in the background, because that's the way you see people. They must be against something. And in due course, Western painters began to be fascinated with the background. And they said to the figure, move over. And then there were landscapes. But of course, the people who looked at them and weren't used to this kind of thing said, well, that's not what I call a painting. But in time, they got used to it. So used to it that, in fact, in every...
Abby, I've
Okay, this is on the prudence in the teaching of the art. De prudentia arti docendi. Nevertheless, this one affliction shall touch nigh all that come to thee, and this is the great pox of sin. That is our bane inherited of the era-slain gods. Look then first of all, when any postulant boweth before thee, whether there be no conflict and restriction in his mind and in his will. If he deem good and evil to be absolute instead of as relative to the health of his body, or the weal of the society of which he is a member, or what not as it may be, instruct him. Or if he say that he will sacrifice all for initiation, correct him as it is written. But whoso give one particle of dust shall lose all in that hour. For it is conflict if he weigh one thing with another, and renunciation, being sorrowful, is not worthy of acceptance. But he must with joy unite all he is and hath, heaving the whole into one billow of love and will, Yea, O my son, until thou hast brought the postulant into our freedom from sin, and the sense and conviction thereof, he is not ready for the path of our magic and illumination, because every way soever is a going, and this sin is an obstacle, and a fetter, and an hoodwink on every one of them, for it is restriction, whether he set out by the meditations of the Dharma, or by our Kabbalah, or by vision or theology, or howsoever. And the mind, enemy of the soul, de mente mica animo. How shall a man attain to thee trace, trance, where all is one? If he yet debate within his mind concerning virtue as a thing absolute, thus, or the learned Casaubon, publishing the record of that word with the magician D, saith falsely, that an angel did declare unto Kelly the very axiomata of our Lord Therema, in good measure and plainly, but D, afflicted by the fixity of his tenets, that one of the slave gods was wroth, and by his authority prevailed upon the other, who was indeed not wholly perfected as an instrument, or the world ready for that sowing. Consider also how in this very life I was the enemy of my own law, and wrote down the book of the law contrary to my conscious will by the virtue of obedience as a scribe, and strove constantly to escape mine own work, and the utterance of my word, until by initiation I was made all one. On different works of the illuminators, de illuminatorum operibus diversi castum. Thus let thy star have profit of thy vehicle, assimilating it and sustaining it, so that it be healed of its separation, and this even in life, but most especially in death. Also thou oughtest to increase thy vehicle in mass by true growth and balance, that thou be a bridegroom, comely and well-favored, a man of might, and a warrior, worthy of the bed, so divine a dissolution, and a certain problem in the art of pleasure, de arte voluptati dilemma quod